All right, and we'll say good morning, good morning. We're continuing. HaBitachon today is our third Shiur in Chovos HaLevavos, the focus on the specific section of Shaar HaBitachon. So again, if you're following in the handouts over here, it's page 6, where it says Yom Chamishi Tes Zayin Adar, March 9th, 2023. Page 6. Also, first I apologize. HaBitachon, by tomorrow we'll hopefully have the safer situation worked out. I hope both for the Hebrew as well as for the English, but at least for now we have this. Also on the WhatsApp chat, the entire PDF was posted. I think it's like 200 pages, whatever it is. So with that, let us begin. So remember again, in this particular section, what we're focusing on over here is the power or the concept of bitachon. So just a quick review. So remember again, the goal, according to the Chovos HaLevavos, the goal according to the Mechaber, is to become an Oved Hashem, to become a servant of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But of course, what one needs in order to truly become an Oved Hashem is a sense of bitachon, a sense of faith. Now remember, bitachon is one of these interesting words because we translate it as faith, but it also means really a sense of security that comes from faith. I place my complete trust, my sense of faith, my feeling of security stems from the Ribbon Shalom. So in yesterday's Shiur, it was really very interesting. We were going through a list of all of the things that people tend to put their faith in, and how sometimes those things are often the wrong things to put my faith in. So now we're circling back and talking about the power of putting one's faith in HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and ultimately, again, what one is able to accomplish. So the Mechaber writes, he says, Umehem, Shaboteach Belokim, Yivienu Hafta Chaso Alav. So the Mechaber now goes on and he explains that when one places their faith in HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that faith ultimately enables a person to do certain things. And amongst those things, he says, Shelo Ya'avor Zulaso. One doesn't have to, now both say literally, be subservient to another individual. Right? One doesn't have to be so. In the handout that's dated, you can see everything is broken up by date, so it's in there. When a person has bitachon in HaKadosh Baruch Hu, page 7, person has bitachon in HaKadosh Baruch Hu, a person doesn't have to feel like he has to serve another person. He says, in other words, what does that mean? What the Mechaber is trying to highlight over here is that everyone puts their bitachon in something. Right? We spoke about this in yesterday's Shiur. You put your bitachon in something. So some people put their bitachon in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. If you're not going to put your sense of faith, belief, or security in God, you're going to put it in something. Like we saw yesterday's Shiur. So someone's going to put it in their intellect. Right? I believe in the power of my intellect. I believe in the power of my wealth. I believe in the power of my physical abilities. Well, now the Mechaber circles back and he says that if a person puts their faith in HaKadosh Baruch Hu, it saves them from certain things. So first of all, what does it save me from? That I don't have to put my faith in people. I know, which sounds like a little bit of a morose statement, but he doesn't mean it as a negative, he means it as a positive. Meaning what? Shelo yikav leish, I will not have to rely on anyone to go ahead and provide salvation for me. V'lo yachal b'nei adam. Ultimately, again, I will not have to wait for people to bestow good upon me. V'lo ya'avdeim lisratzos elehem. Nor will I have to go ahead and serve people in order to find favor in their eyes. V'lo yachanif lahem. I won't have to constantly compliment people. Now, I'll say it's good to compliment people, right? When he says chanif over here, what he means is there's a better word, not complimenting. Flattery, thank you. You don't have to constantly flatter people in order to be able to get what you want. Nor will I have to go ahead and constantly agree with people, right, in order to be able to get them to do what I want, except in matters of spirituality when I actually do agree with them. That is mostly what he's referring to here, is something so profound. You see, when you rely on people, now what does it mean when you rely on people? When you think that other people are the key to your life success. So I'll say, what happens? This is the world, right? This is the world. People flatter, but they don't mean it. They're just trying to get something from you, right? People agree, but they don't mean it. They're just trying to get something from you. And sometimes we ourselves feel compelled to do this in order to be able to attain certain results. And what the Mechaber says is that's because I'm placing my bitachon in other people. Whereas if you place your bitachon in HaKadosh Baruch Hu, something amazing happens, which is, I actually have the ability to be genuine in interpersonal relationships. Isn't this incredibly beautiful? No, I'm saying, I think all of us have days like this where you have a couple of very interesting types of interactions and you realize like a little bit, I'm being played. Meaning what? Someone wants something from me, and so they're saying what they need to say, and they're acting the way they need to act, and they're behaving the way they need to behave, not because they care about me, right? Not because there's any level of concern about me, but because it's like a shtickle manipulation. I don't mean like a bad manipulation, but a manipulation. And the truth is, you begin to doubt the authenticity of human relationships. But the beautiful part is that comes about because I feel I have to manipulate when I feel like my success is dependent on you. But if I recognize that my success is dependent only on HaKadosh Baruch Hu, I could be genuine in my relationships. I don't have to flatter you. I could say nice stuff, but I don't have to flatter because I don't have to manipulate, right? And I could speak in a normal fashion, and I could behave in a normal fashion because I don't need you to do anything, because my sense of security and my success stems from Hashem. It's incredible. Furthermore, again, I don't have to be afraid of people. Well, isn't this incredible? I don't have to be afraid of anyone. Well, say this is incredible. I don't have to be afraid of disagreeing with people. Right? Sometimes we're so scared about voicing our opinions because, oh my gosh, I need this person for this. And I don't have to be afraid of disagreement. Big day tovasam. V'torah choda'asam v'chovas tagmalosam. Right? What ends up happening? Ultimately, again, because I'm so scared that if I disagree, then what's going to happen? I'm going to end up not being the beneficiary of the good things they want to bestow, or ultimately, again, of the positive byproducts of this relationship. So I'm so scared to say what I really feel, or I'm so scared to articulate a particular opinion because I feel like I need this other individual for all of these things in life. And at the end of the day, if I have to give musar, now that's tochacha, right? If I have to say something that's a shtickle unpleasant, lo yizar bichvodam, so we'll say this is talking about in the positive. In other words, that if halacha l'maisa, I put my bitachon in HaKadosh Baruch Hu, then again, he's talking about over here, it allows me, my favorite word, to be proficient in my genuinity in my life relationships, right? And l'maisa, again, if I have to say something that's going to be a little bit unpleasant, it's okay. It's okay. And at the end of the day, if I have to say something that maybe is a little bit embarrassing, and lav dafka, the person is not going to want to hear it, lo yevosh mehem. I don't have to be embarrassed to say it. V'lo yipa lahem hasheker. I was saying, if someone says something that's just not right, you ever have a situation like this where someone says something that's just simply incorrect? But what? I can't correct them. Right? Why can't I correct them? Because I need them. So I say, no, that's only if you put your bitachon on other people. If someone says something that's incorrect, there's always, of course, a nice way to correct. And yes, are there times where you just don't say anything? Yeah, because sometimes it's just not important. But Lamaisa, sometimes a person says something that's really untrue, and it does need to be corrected. But Lamaisa, again, I feel like I can't say anything because I need this person so badly. Again, when you put your bitachon in HaKadosh Baruch Hu, lo yevosh mehem, v'lo yipa lam hasheker. And if they say something that's incorrect, I'm not going to affirm the lie. Kimo she'amar hanavi, ma'ashem elokim yazer li, al kin lo nichlamti, al kin samti panai kechalamish, va'ida lo evosh. The Bible says, the pasuk says in Yeshaya, when I believe that my assistance comes from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, therefore, again, I will not be embarrassed. I will not be embarrassed in front of another person. I have made my face like a stone, and I know that I will not be embarrassed. What does it mean, I make my face like a stone? When you have bitachon in HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you feel confident. You feel strong, right? You feel like you have the ability to stand up and to do what's right. Va'amar al tira mehem umidivreim al tira. Again, don't be afraid of them. Don't be afraid of their words. Va'amar midivreim al tira umipneim al techas. Va'amar al tira mipnehem, va'amar al tachas mipnehem, va'amar kishamir chazak mitzar, nasati mitzchalo sira osam, v'lo sachas mipnehem. So I will say, so again, these are all different psukim, page 9. These are all different psukim, ultimately, again, that highlight this same idea. So I will say, I just want to be clear. The Mechaber is not saying over here to be, we'll say, you know how there are some people that are always like abrasive in every single interaction. You know someone like that? Maybe you have a friend. Right? Abrasive in every single interaction. That's not what he's talking about over here. And he's not, the Mechaber is not saying that. There are sometimes like, that you just kind of like have to go with it. Sometimes a person says something ridiculous, and the truth is, it's not worth it to say anything because it's just unimportant. Or sometimes a person says something that's untrue, and it's just simply not worth it to get into the dynamics of correcting that untruth. It's just not worth it. Just not worth it. I will say, but what he's saying over here is, a lot of times in life, and this is so profound, we're not genuine in our relationships with people because since we feel we need them so badly, I can't say what I need to say, I can't do what I need to do, and I can't behave in the way that I really should behave. So I will say, so what happens? But yet conversely, when a person has a sense of bitachon in HaKadosh Baruch Hu, it's incredible. Bitachon in Hashem allows me the ability to be genuine in my relationships with other people. I will say last section, umehed, furthermore, again, another benefit. Ultimately, again, in one's having a sense of bitachon, shavotech be'elokim yaveh bitchono, lifnos el libo me'inyane ha'olam, u'liyached levavo le'inyane ha'avoda. So I'll say, this is absolutely really incredible. There's another thing that bitachon does. What does bitachon in HaKadosh Baruch Hu do? I will say, bitachon allows me to remove my heart, to remove my focus a little bit from certain worldly matters and to focus myself to avodas Hashem. Now I will say, this is really an incredible idea. We're actually going to stop here a few lines earlier than the end of the section because I actually want to begin with this next part tomorrow. But I will say this is the other benefit. So remember again, what are we doing over here? We're going through the benefits of bitachon. So I will say, benefit number one of bitachon in Hashem is the only thing that is stable. Because anything else you put your bitachon in could easily waver and could easily evaporate. That's number one. Number two, bitachon in HaKadosh Baruch Hu allows me to be genuine in my human relationships. Isn't that an incredible yesod? So many times I'm disingenuous in my relationships because I need things from people. Well, if you recognize you actually don't need things from people. All you need is things from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, have a sense of bitachon, HaKadosh Baruch Hu runs the world, suddenly you can be genuine. And number three, I will say, is that a sense of bitachon in HaKadosh Baruch Hu allows me to free up a little bit of bandwidth. Because if I believe that HaKadosh Baruch Hu runs the world, and therefore He determines my material success, He worries about it, so that therefore what? I can worry a little bit less. And if I could worry a little bit less about my material pursuits, what does that allow me to do? It allows me to focus on my spiritual pursuits. Bitachon in Hashem means God's got my material back. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is worrying. He is orchestrating, choreographing my gashmius. If He's worrying about it all the time, which He is, and I have that bitachon, I can worry a little less. And with that little less time that's spent worrying on gashmius, ultimately, I can focus myself on Ruchnas. We'll stop over here for today. Incredible. I will say tomorrow we'll have